Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Pro Trade Room Plus, and we're back for just a special session this morning. We're going to look at gold. My name is Lee Goldstein, the trading director for 10-Minute Trades. Please remember, all the trades we discuss are for educational purposes. All right, so I think it's too bad, but we've missed the gold magnet trade. It's going to test the low. Looks like it wants to test the low right now. So what happens is at 8:20 in the morning, gold opens, um, and we're thinking about starting to trade the gold open. I have not looked at it since a long time ago, maybe 6 months, 8 months, year ago. Um, so I'm not here to tell you I have a definitive setup at the moment for the gold open. We're just watching it this morning. There were two easy to trade gold opens this week. I think it was Monday and Tuesday. It just opened strongly at 8:20 and moved in one direction. Anytime you get an open that just moves in one direction, it makes it easy to trade it. But gold and all opens don't always behave that way. Now, look, it didn't test the low. You're still quite a few ticks away. So it made 95, 80, 9160. So you have 40 ticks available. Can you get it set up fast enough? Probably not. Magnet, high of day, low of day. I would put a 2 in on proximity. I would just automatically apply it. Just immediately do a default setup here. That would be your entry. If you make it, and I'm just in sim, just it's not quite enough profit. If you let this fill by turning the magnet auto on, your entry is the thick line. It's 93.80, and your exit is 91, roughly 91.50. 91.50. So let's say your entry is 94. So there's a little bit of tick available for profit if you trade that magnet. Now look what gold did. It just does what it always does. It might be done. It might not test the low. Gold can be very volatile. It was up $40 an hour ago. I mean, it's been selling off relentlessly since it was up over $40 when we first got here. So it's very volatile. What you might want to do is just wait until the open. Set up a trade around the open. Because sometimes if you try to do it, if you try to do it early before the open, you could just get caught in a move that doesn't follow through. Just talking about the magnet for a minute. The magnet strategy. Let me just turn off my crosshair. The magnet strategy takes advantage of highs of days, lows of days. That's are almost an automated system. And you can also set up custom magnets. A custom magnet can be any level. For instance, watching the NQ on the right here, this orange line is the 6 p.m. reopening of the market. That's a magnet. That often attracts price. The VWAP is actually a better magnet. There's often tests of the VWAP. Price tests the VWAP many times during the day. It's definitely a good level to trade around. So you can set up a custom magnet for the NQ. Even before the open, it could move to the VWAP. It's going to pass through the VWAP before it gets to the low of the day. Okay? That's definite. It's going to get to the V. It has to pass through the VWAP. if you're going to get a test to the high, you've got a double magnet high up here. You got the PP and the high of day. Two magnets. Magnets are areas on the chart that traders look at. Lots of traders look at those areas. Lots of traders look at the high of the day. Lots of traders look at pivots, and they put their orders around those areas, stops or buys. Okay, sells and buys. That attracts price. It pulls price. That's what a magnet is. So if you get a trend that's heading towards a magnet, and you can look at trend with the squeeze, with price action, you want to get trend to help you enter a magnet. Because right now, the problem with the NQ is still relatively bearish. It's down 86 points, but it's been moving up since we've been watching here. If you look at a 15-minute chart, ever since Trump made that Abraham Accord announcement that maybe more companies will join the Accords, the markets went up on that. That's what I think has caused the markets to go up since we got here. We got here at 6:30 for American Express earnings. We traded American Express earnings, then we watched the markets for a little bit. Then, so look, gold, this magnet is null and void at the moment because you had a big change in behavior on gold. It's now bullish again. It pulled, that might have been as far as it's going at the moment. What I would do with gold, I'd wait for the gold open, and you could certainly do a high of day, low of day magnet on the gold open. If it decides to change direction and go down and test the low, the magnet could work. And the other thing you can do on the NQ is a little bit trickier. NQ, we're waiting for the market open. So right now you're just looking at, pre-market movement on the NQ. There might not be quite a bit motivation to go to the high at the moment. You just don't know. I mean, look, we did get the test of that 6 p.m. That was a viable magnet. So if you were here, 15 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago, and you were watching the bullishness of the NQ, if you did put that in as a magnet, that magnet trade worked. So you could put in, what we're normally doing is starting at 9 o'clock for the market open. So who knows where this market's going to be at 9 o'clock? You don't know. What I'm going to do is set up just a simulated trade on the gold open. So like I said, I have not watched the gold open strongly enough to make a decision as to how I want to trade it yet. I'm going to set up a high of day magnet on the NQ first. So strategy, magnet trade, high of day, low of day is automatic. Putting in a proximity of 3 and positions. Position 1 will exit 3 ticks before it gets to the high of day. That's what the tick offset -3 means. If it was -5, it would exit 5 ticks before it gets to the high of day. And then position 2, if you're going to do a position 2, would be if price bursts through the magnet. Or you could just do one position. I'm just going to trade one position for a test of the magnet. I'm going to use a 40 tick stop. And I'm not trading live. I'm not going to trade live until the market open. We're here just experimenting this morning with magnets and looking at the markets. There is an 8:30. Not sure if building permits and housing starts is actually being released this morning. So let me set this magnet up and then I'll put the news on. We'll see if that building permits comes out. So high of day, low of day, percent proximity just puts the orders on the chart. We're going to move them anyway. So we have one position at the default of -3. Our stop is 40. I'm not changing anything else. I'm going to label it NQ magnet trade, apply it and OK it. When I turn on the magnet, the NQ magnet trade, watch what happens. It puts our entry, the thick line is our entry, and we can move our entry to wherever we want. That's why the proximity doesn't mean anything anymore. When we first designed the magnet, we didn't have a way to move the orders, so the proximity was where your order entry was. Now we can just decide where we want to enter. So you could decide what levels do you want to break to enter, and you could decide, how big of a move up do you want to enter on also. You want to make more than, on the NQ, you probably want to make 20 ticks profit, right? So if our magnet, you can hover over your buy. In other words, this thick line is our buy. It's 24830. Okay, 24830. The button shows you where it is, and it shows you the exit also, the target, 24857. That's what this line is, 3 ticks before we get there. So you can look there, 830 to 857. That's a 27-point move. That's pretty big. We may not get that much of a move. So we moved it. This is 15 points. I think in a market that's bursting up to test the high, 15 points is 60 ticks of profit. That's a pretty good trade, don't you think? So for now, let's leave the magnet where it is. It's about a 15-point move required to get to the magnet. You also have the PP pivot helping to pull price also, because lots of people put orders by the pivot. Oh, I'll buy if it breaks the pivot. So there are orders around the pivot. Or there are people that might have been long, might have been short from yesterday, who knows, and they want to sell at the pivot. But there are orders at the pivot. There always are. I'm just looking to see if, I don't think investing.com is even showing that building permits and housing starts is coming out this morning. Most of the calendars did not have it. No, they don't have it on the calendar. They do have a 915, the capacity utilization industrial production report, which has not been moving the markets at all, not even slightly. We even stopped looking at that report. It has not moved the markets at all. Maybe because there's no news or there's less government reports. There's still plenty of reports. There's only a few government reports. Out of all the reports, most of them are not government reports. ISM is private, API is private, NOPA is private. Um, Plenty of regular reports, even without the government releasing. That doesn't mean we're happy about the government shutdown. The government shutdown is a disgrace and an insult to every American that our politicians are not doing their jobs. It should be illegal to have a shutdown. It should not be allowed under any circumstances, ever. So thinking about the gold open, though, it looks like we're going to be in the middle. Well, we don't know yet. It's 6 minutes. You could just set up a breakout on the gold open. It's one possible way to try and trade it. Breakout or a range is what I would be leaning towards. Also, I like to look at levels. What's gold doing? Is it bullish or bearish at the time of the open? If you look at a 15-minute gold chart, gold is Not easy to even give it a, is it negative today or is it bullish? Like I said, up here, it was up over $40 and it has sold off since we got here. We got here in this time frame here. Gold started selling off pretty much as soon as we got here at 6:30. It was already selling off. It's recovered a bit off the low. This is a tough, tricky. That's it's hard to believe. It's $30. That one candle is a $30. I feel like I have to double check it. I'm in shock. It's a $30 candle in 15 minutes. $30 candle. I guess that makes sense. So right now, gold is a little bit bullish, right? But it still could test the low. You just don't know. You might get a VWAP magnet this morning, and you could get a high of day, which is a double magnet. So this is a very tough one to determine which direction you'd want to go. So it's a confused open. We're not near any of the levels this moment, right? Right at this moment. You could certainly get a PP test. $17 away from the PP. But gold is moving so volatile, so volatile. So let's say, for argument's sake, we set up a 1 minute range on gold. That's if you don't want to just do a magnet. In other words, you want to try and catch if there's a move at 820. So let's say we want to catch a move at 820. So we set up a range. We start the range at 819. We're going to end the range at 820 when the gold open occurs. Or let's say 819.59. Just going to trade one position. I'm going to go for 40 ticks. All right. I'm going to use a 50 tick stop. You can't use a small stop if you're trading gold in this market. I'm just simulating this morning, just playing with an idea, showing the range graphics on chart, and I'm just doing one tick above the range, one tick below. Essentially, if it breaks the range, it'll enter the trade. So it's a 1 minute range. That's all I'm doing. Creating a 1 minute range. I'll label it range, apply it, and OK it. Turn on our range, and I'll also set up a reverse continuation, one contract, a second strategy. Maybe we cancel the range, maybe the range gets too big. One position, reverse continue, 50 tick target, 50 tick stop. I'm going to label it reverse continue GC. Just simming this morning. There's our range starting to draw. We have a 1 minute range. So this range is going to expand, and our orders are going to be right at the top of the range or at the bottom of the range. The orders range is going to expand for 60 seconds, one tick above, one tick below. Not really. If it breaks the range, it's a long. If it doesn't, if it breaks the range on the downside, it's a short. Also, if the range gets too big and you don't want to trade the range, you can cancel it, uncheck it, And you can look for a long or short with an instant entry when you think you have a better trend. See, we so we did a minute, the gold opened, popped down, okay? It burst down, and bingo, a $400 trade. That gold open was a normal gold, what we've seen in the past as a pretty normal gold open. So it broke the 1 minute range, burst down on the open, followed through, and would have been an awesome profit. Now, why didn't I take that trade? I just haven't been trading the gold open enough that I wanted to take the risk. I'm not, look at this. I think gold is a real possibility. It's going to go and test the low, if not the PP. So trying here for a scalp, right, towards the PP. It's not the biggest stop in the world, but it's not tiny either. I'm expanding the stop because I want to put the stop above, at least above that last candle. You're going to give back all your money if you're wrong on this trade. I'm doing this in sim because I honestly don't, I'm not totally comfortable with gold's movement this morning like I normally am. Turning off the range, I'm going to just look for a short, quick scalp. That's all I want, to get out with a quick scalp, because I'll tell you what's safer. Believe it or not, that was a 15 tick, $150 scalp. All right. I'm just concerned that I'm not 100% sold that we're 100% short. I'm not 100%. You could have, you could put a magnet on for a test of the low, right? You could put a gold magnet on for a test of the low. I think the PP, it's only $6 away. It's too close to do a magnet to the PP. You could do a reverse continue, uh, a scalp towards the PP. I'm just concerned that gold is a little bit bullish. It was very bullish when we got here an hour and a half ago. I'm not positive gold is committed to the downside. That's what I'm not positive about. I'm not positive it's committed to the downside. So you can leave your reverse continue on. I'm not willing to take another scalp at the moment. And you could put a magnet on for high of day, low of day. Or an NQ magnet could still fill if price keeps going up, right? We have a reverse continue possibility. We don't need our range trade. We're done with our market open range on gold. And if you think gold might test the low, you could put a magnet on for that. Right click strategy, double click magnet. High of day, low of day is the standard magnet when you turn on a magnet strategy. Just make your proximity of 5 whenever you put it on, 5, 4, or 3. And for the gold magnet, gold is so volatile, I only want to risk one contract. You could lose hundreds of dollars if you're wrong. We'll trade the default magnet setup, other than the proximity, which we make 5. All right, the default setup is one position. We'll exit the magnet trade 3 ticks before it gets to the high or the low. That's the default. One position, -3 target offset. That means 3 ticks before you get to the high or the low. That's our exit. Okay? That's our exit. You could put a second position on and make your target a 10. And that means if you get through the high or the low by 10 ticks or more, that's your 10 tick profit through the high or the low. If you make it a 20, it's 20 ticks above the high or the low. All right? Right now, we're not trading a target on position 2. We don't have a position 2. We just have one position exiting 3 ticks before the magnet, the high or the low. 40 tick stop is absolutely necessary, at least in this market. Longs or shorts are allowed. You don't have to make a decision if you're going to go long only or short only. Choose the account you're trading in and then label your magnet GC if that's what you're trading. All right. Apply it. Don't forget, you choose your account. I'm leaving it in SIM because this morning I'm just trading gold in SIM. Market open, I'll do my normal trading. When you turn the magnet on, you get a bunch of buttons. The cancel now is related to our reverse continue. All right. That canceled the trade. We probably don't need a button for the reverse continue. I might take that out. But when you turn on the magnet, you get your magnet entry. If you hover over the magnet entry, it'll show you your short entry, which is the heavy line before it gets to the low. That's our entry. If you hover over the magnet entry button, our sell is 42.9630. If we move it, it'll adjust it. It's 42.9590. Okay? If we break the PP, if you break this previous low area, that might be the best place to try and get in on the magnet. The problem is there might not be enough profit. It's 42.9370, and then the magnet is 91.60. So what's about 20 ticks? It's not terrible. So you could leave it there for a break of the previous low candles. All right, you could do that. Normally, if we get momentum that gets in this area, it'll probably get to the magnet. So you could try for a little bit more profit and say maybe if it breaks 42.95, you can enter short. Then on the upside, if it starts to test the high, it's so far away from there, I'm not even thinking about the high, but the magnet high entry is that line, right? And it's up there. If you start getting up there, you could start thinking about adjusting your order. More than that, I would be thinking maybe about a VWAP gold magnet at some point near the market open. If we get there, that might be a much more interesting magnet. It's a double magnet. You've got the pivot, the 6 p.m. opens, and you've got the VWAP. That's double magnets pulling price. Okay. That might even be a better magnet than the low of day. As we get closer to the market open, gold will get busier, just like other instruments get busier. Oh my God, Roz. You were live? We've all made that mistake. That is terrible. That's terrible. Now, you can look for other charts too. You could look for other magnets, right? Put charts up and you could look at various instruments. Take a look. Do you like to trade the RTY? RTY is negative, but it's like the NQ. We may be setting up for a high of day magnet. So you could set up the RTY if you like trading currency futures. You could look at the yen, right? If you like trading currency futures, for instance, 6J 1225. You could look at various levels. So it's been making new lows. Right now it's done its magnet. The magnet was new lows. So I'm not that interested at the moment in the yen. I'll bet that most currency futures overseas probably are making new lows, is my guess. Yeah, see the euro. We missed the magnet on the euro. That took place closer to 8 o'clock. So I wouldn't be looking at currency futures at the moment. I might look more at the US indexes. YM 1225. You could look at oil. Oil opens at 9 a.m. You could trade the oil open. You know, the fact that we're here, let's look at the oil open. I think that makes a lot of sense. CL 1225. I don't know the contract on oil. So I'm going to just type the prefix, scroll down looking for the future. Now I'm waiting for Dunkin' Donuts to deliver my coffee. Uber. When it gets to the door, I'm going to have to jump up and grab it. I don't know what the oil contract is. Let's say I don't know what the oil contract is, but I'm interested in getting ready to trade the oil open. So blank spot of the chart, click the cursor a couple of times, and then type CL, nothing else. And then look for the future down in the list. If it doesn't show up, scroll. It shows up, future, double click it. And it puts me on the chart with the current contract, 12. Now, oil just made a high of day. Not a great magnet, but we could trade an oil open. And we could do a similar thing that we did with the gold open. We could set up a 1 minute range. Let me do it right. News trader, right? And we're going to go to the range trade. And so we're going to go to the range start time. Oil opens at 9. So we're going to say 8:29. We're going to do about, an approximate 1 minute range. Start at 8:29. One tick above the range. You can't put 0. At least I don't think you can. Can you? I never tried that. All these years. 0 ticks above the range. Let's see if that works. It says it'll do it. All that means is I'm not making it do any more than break the range. If you want it to break the range plus 10 ticks, you do 10 ticks above the range. That means whatever range is created in a minute, it's got to go 10 more ticks above that range to put your order. That's where it'll put the order. I don't want any extra movement other than the range itself. Okay? I just want the range itself. So, starting at 8:29, no ticks above, no ticks below. Show the range graphics on chart. Oil is $10 a tick. I'm just going to trade one position. I'm just going to look for a 20 tick target, a $200 trade. All right. And I'm going to risk 30 ticks. Let's say we'll leave 25 ticks. So we're going to end the range at 8:29.59. Sorry, 9:59. Stop. 8:59.59. 1 second before the open. 8:59.59. 8:59 is our correct range start time, not a 30-minute range. Okay. We want a 1 minute range. The open is at 9. So we're starting our range at 8:59. We're ending it at 8:59.59. Okay? Let's be clear. Let me get my coffee, folks. I'll be right back. I'm not putting my mic down. You'll lose me for a second. All right, testing 1 2 1 2. Let me know you can hear me still. Let me know you can hear me still, please. Testing 1 2 1 2. Sometimes you get an amazing driver. What an amazing person. He put the coffee inside the screen door so it wouldn't get stolen. All right, 9 o'clock oil open. Range start time 8:59. No ticks above the range, no ticks below the range. Show the graphics on chart. End the range at 8:59.59. So 9 o'clock open, 1 second before. One position, 20 tick target, 25 stop. Apply it. Okay. We haven't done the oil open since the pandemic. All right. So I'm doing it in sim. Doing it in sim, and we're just going to wait for this trade to take place. Okay. We're going to wait for it to take place. 9 o'clock. All right. Turn it on. You get your icon. We're going to get a 1 minute range as we get close to 9. You could trade magnets on oil. If I were going to trade a magnet, I would trade the VWAP magnet. Okay, you could set up a VWAP magnet on a different chart. These are just ideas of things you could do if you want to trade the hour before the market open. You could do all of these tests, right? You could look at all the charts, whatever chart you like to trade. You could look at the charts you like to trade. And, if you're liking to trade in the morning, you've got magnets. I love the magnets. Look for your trend, right? Your best magnets are going to be in the direction of the trend. Or what we have happen this morning? We had news get released about the Abraham Accords. So some commentary was made, and it affected the markets. Markets were very negative, and they had a change in tone. All right? Forgive me for eating and starving. We were up trading American Express at 6:30. So gold, we had an amazing open. Next week, we're going to trade gold opens. You can reduce your risk on gold if you want to. Trade MGC. All right. MGC is $1 a tick. Regular gold is $10 a tick. You can take part by reducing your risk, right? Follow, right? You can reduce risk. Same thing with MNQ. You can do all this with MNQ, and same thing with oil. You can absolutely use MCL. I would use MCL regularly with anything except the Wednesday breakout. That's the only trade I don't like on micro oil. And the reason for that is because it sometimes spikes differently. Okay? So what do we got going on right now? Normally, we get here at 9 for the market open. So 9 o'clock rolls around. I'll shut everything down except oil. Oil, we're waiting on a range trade open. Okay, 1 minute range. And Q, I usually trade the MNQ at the market open. I'll stay with the MNQ for the end of the week, which is today. And then we've been watching gold. And we also do watch and trade the YM. Normally on the market open, we 10-minute trades have been using the YM and the MNQ. Members in the room have been using RTY, silver, believe it or not. NQYM. And believe it or not, I'm shocked nobody's been trading the ES. Usually, it used to be that the ES was a favorite instrument to trade. Not so true anymore, at least with our traders, for whatever reason. We started at 820 with an awesome gold open. We did a 1 minute range, and we had an immediate 40 tick winner, $400. We are simming this morning. I want to be clear about this experimenting that we're doing. There is no reason when you're starting to do something for the first time in a while, there's no reason to risk money. Unless you have it and you don't care if you lose it or you don't mind if you blow up a prop account, that's fine. I mean, you can do whatever you want. But as a general rule, what I do if I start trading a new setup, I'll usually sim it just to see if my ideas are even based in reality or not. We haven't looked at a gold open, like I said, since the pandemic. All right. You know, we looked at some price action this week that made the gold open look attractive. Yesterday it was not easy. It looked whippyish. Anyway, the point being, when you get started, when you're just starting, just do some simming. Or look, you want to dedicate a prop account to blow up, it's fine. I mean, it doesn't cost a lot of money to reset most prop accounts. For us, if I blow up a prop account today, and it's a new account, and I don't want to wait a month for it to rebuild and reset, it costs $39 to turn it back on, as if it were new. So if you don't mind spending $39, fine, practice with a prop account. But, you know, money matters. You don't have to do that. So right now we have a 1 minute range on oil expected at 9 o'clock because that's the oil open. So let's label it properly. Right click the chart, strategies. Our setup is a range trade. We're going to end the range 8:59.59. We have one position, one contract, 20 tick target, 25 tick stop loss. Scroll down. We're going to start the range 8:59. So we're starting at 8:59. We're ending it at 8:59.59. It's essentially a 1 minute range almost. We have the one position target for 20 ticks. We have a 25 tick stop. And we have no ticks above the range, no ticks below the range. That means we're going to create a 1 minute range. When the range is done calculating, an order is going to be placed at the top of the range, an order is going to be placed at the bottom of the range. Not 5 ticks above the top, not 5 ticks above the bottom. That's what below the bottom. That's what ticks above or below does. Lets you make the market work harder after the range is done calculating. If I want the market to move 5 ticks more than the range, I do ticks above, 5 ticks, make it a 5. Show the range graphics on chart, that's just okay. Draw the range so you see it. If you're using a range trade, you always want to see it. Can't imagine why you wouldn't want to, but that's probably a reason. But we don't always want to make everything, you have to do it this way. So we like to give choices. That's our oil setup for 9 o'clock. Oil open. Label it. Oil range, not breakout. Okay? Choose the account you're trading, apply it, okay? Turn it on. Press the enabled, check it. Okay, we have our oil range. It's ready to go. 9 o'clock. Remember I said I had another clock? We have a second clock. So 9 o'clock. Did everybody get the memo and the link for the second clock? Let me see if I have the link for everyone. I think Bullinox has a mediocre sale, not a phenomenal sale, a decent sale. What are they, 83%? I think, I don't know if it ended today. Here's the Bullinox info. I can give you our link if you want to. I believe the code is PTF83. I think that code is still working. Let me see if I have the link for the new clock for everyone. It's a download, all right? That's a new extra clock if you want to use, because topmost clock, we can't, I have not been able to figure out how to use it twice. You can't, as far as I know. So sometimes we want to have a second clock. It would be convenient. Unfortunately, this clock is a little big. I can't make it smaller. That's as small as it gets. If you go to size, you can make it bigger, but not smaller. All right. Put the cursor in the dead center. It works very similar to topmost. It's a nice looking clock. Looks pretty good. So that way you can keep track of your another trade on a faraway chart like we're doing here. 9 o'clock, oil open. NQ, we were just testing magnets. Nothing really of substance unless you were trading tests of the previous open. Look, it did it once, two, three times. That wasn't, you had to be pretty aggressive to trade that. So we had a gold, high of day, low of day magnet trade set up. What looks better for gold at the moment would be a custom VWAP trade. So I would change my magnet, gold, GC magnet, change it from high of day to custom level, and 43.48 is my custom level. That's my exit. I'm going to put one position at the moment. I'm going to put in a 30 tick target, 40 tick stop. It's going to be a long only, but I'm not changing that at the moment. That's all I'm doing. All right. Setting up a gold custom level VWAP trade. I think there's a better chance it gets there before it gets to the high of day, low of day. 43.48. You could put 10 if you want, 0.1. The magnet is your exit, okay? And then we're going to move it to be our entry. I'll show you. Always make the custom level your magnet, the magnet itself, even though that's the exit. And I'll explain what I mean. So custom level, make it the magnet. If you're doing the R1, it would be 43.8920, right? Stop, you choose, that's up to you, and your target is up to you. But you want your target, you want about 20 ticks profit on a gold magnet, at least, right? So now we're going to go, you got it labeled, GC magnet, apply it, choose your account, of course. We're in Sim this morning. When you turn on the magnet, your exit is the magnet. So we're going to move our exit. The heavy line is our exit. We don't want to exit where we're going to exit. We don't want to enter where we're going to exit. It would be no profit. It would be crazy. So 43.40 might be an interesting level to break, right? The magnet is 43.48. You can hover over the magnet button most of the time. Every now and then it doesn't calculate properly. It's a bug. It's got to be a bug. Let me just redo it and see if it calculates properly. It is calculating properly. 43.45. 50 is our entry. That's 25 ticks away, roughly. 45.50, 48.10 to 45.50, 26 ticks away. So your target should be 23 if you want to exit 3 ticks before you get to the high. So our target on this particular magnet is going to be about 23 ticks. I'll explain that again so you understand how I figured that out. It's very easy. It's very easy. So our magnet is being placed where it's being placed because of the 5 proximity. But the magnet, originally when we set it up, I'm going to start from scratch. Originally, when we set up the custom level magnet, what you did was you made the custom level the actual magnet, 43.48. But that is our exit, okay? That's our exit. Now, levels change as time goes on, right? So let's say 43.48 is our magnet. That's our exit. That's where we think gold's going to go. That's where we want to get out. 43.48. Okay, 10. If you want to be exact, it's 43.48, 10. Right now we have one position, and we're going to have to figure out what the proper target is. I'm putting 23 in for the moment and a stop of 40. All right? That's how we're doing it. We're not doing any other positions or anything. Label it GC magnet, apply it and OK it, turn it on. Your magnet entry at the moment is our custom level. We typed in our order is going to show up at the custom level we typed in. But that's our exit, right? So we don't want our entry to be at our exit. The thick line, that's your entry. We told it, put it on at the magnet, just so it's easy, so you know where your order is going to appear when you create a custom level. Then you're going to move it to where you feel is the proper place to enter the long if you think you'll get a test of that VWAP, okay? So what might make sense is above 43.40. If you want to do serious analysis, you could go back. The last test of the VWAP was quite a few hours ago, all right? So maybe if you break the 6 p.m. open, That would be a very nice place, but we can't, right? Why can't we? Because the VWAP's been going down towards that open, so that's not going to work. We're going to have to just come up with our own entry. Our entry is the thick line. If we break 43.40, that might be a good place to enter, okay? A move up. Gold is bullish again. It's over $22 bullish. If we break 43.40 by quite a bit, we're 43.80. We've got 50 ticks, close to 50 ticks of profit, okay? So adjust your target on the magnet. Let's say our target, let's make it 40 ticks. Before it gets to our magnet, and it's still a very nice profit. So you could get out a little bit before it gets there. So let's see what happens. So we're using a 40 target. Apply it, okay it, and you could either put the magnet on so it's automatic by pressing the entry button and turning it purple, or you could wait until it starts moving close to the price and then you could turn it on. Or you could wait till it breaks through and gives you a sound and a color purple and press it then. So it's three ways you can enter. Put on auto mode. The trade will automatically trigger now. Wait until price starts moving up. You could then turn it on. Or wait until the order would have been entered. You'll get a ding sound and the button will blink purple. Then you can press the button and it'll enter the trade. I like the automatic. You can always turn it off. There's no fear. Now we do have our oil 9 o'clock open 1 minute range trade, right? So I don't think we're going to get a NQ trade at the moment. Let's see what happens with oil on our 1 minute range. If the open moves price enough to put us in to a trade, okay? That's what we were looking at this morning on oil. Is the oil open worth trading? Our range is starting now, right? A 1 minute range. Right? Remember, we created a 1 minute range. You got to spread it. It's a little too tight. You can't trade when it's all scrunched up. So we have the top of the range and we have the bottom of the range. We have 0 ticks above, 0 ticks below. So at 9 o'clock when the market opens, 1 second before, our orders are going to be placed at the top and bottom of the range. If the range gets pierced, we will enter the market in that direction. It immediately filled us short. There's our orders and our targets. You can shrink your stop to the high. That makes sense. It's not really following through yet. It's trying. You can move your stop to safety. Now you cannot have a loser. You can trail a little more. Top of the candle. Trail again. Guarantee more profit. You could expand your target a little bit. Get real aggressive with your trail. If you want, you don't have to. Aggressive trail will probably get you taken out, right? Maybe oil's going to get to the VWAP. It may not get there right now. Shoulda, woulda, coulda, Calvin, right? Shoulda, woulda, coulda. All right, 100 and what was that? 130 buck profit. We were up 550. We made 130 on the oil open. We made 400 on the gold open, and we made 130 on the oil open. I think it might be fun to trade these opens next week. We'll start 15 minutes early and we'll set up an oil open and see how it goes. I don't know how it's going to go. I haven't looked at it, all right, in years. I know oil opens at 9, and we just saw, at least today, the oil open move the market. Let me show you the setup one more time. Write it down. Let me save it. Let me save it. How do I save the setup? Go to strategy. It's already in. Go to template. Save it. Oil. Open. 10. 17. 25. Okay. Save it. We now have an oil open. Started the range at 859. 0 ticks above the range. 0 ticks below the range. Show the range graphics on chart. Nothing else matters, okay? Everything else is default except the account. Choose the account you're trading, and then the end of the range. The range started at 859. It ended at 859.59. I just traded one position for a 20 tick target and a 25 tick stop. The trade type is a range trade. That trade is over. Okay. What did I say? It was going to go to the VWAP. Now you could set up a magnet, or you could do a reverse continue and enter short if you think it's going to go test the VWAP. Because while you're setting up the magnet, you might miss the trade. It might be a little bit late, right? Always on an open, on a close, on a breakout, on a news trade, put that extra setup on the chart, reverse continue, so you always have a chance to enter if a trend gets created and a level is being approached and you want to take an intelligent trade. This is an intelligent trade to take a short here. It's not a bad chase because you have a strong magnet, the VWAP, you have a strong squeeze trend, and you have a failure at the high. It made the new highs, not a failure. It made the new highs, and it's selling off them. Very possible it will get to the VWAP. Very possible. It's a good trade. It's a good risk. Where would you put your stop? Maybe above the 6 p.m. open, right? Isn't that why that's a magnet? See the way you think why these are magnets? Because we use them. We use those levels to put our orders. That's why don't put it one tick above or below. If you use 8 or 9 ticks above the magnets, you'll have a little more safety because most newbie retail traders will put their orders one tick above, one tick below, or right at it. They won't be smart enough to be a little bit further away, right? So I, okay. Oil open looks interesting. Maybe we'll trade some next week. Let's get rid of the oil range. We're getting rid of gold. I don't trade gold on the open. Gold, however, didn't do our high, didn't do our VWAP. It never quite got to the low. There's a gold trade waiting to happen around the open, 9:30. If you're a gold trader and you don't want to do anything but trade gold at the open, you could trade the VWAP magnet. You could trade a low of day magnet. Where price is right now, you could trade a PP magnet, custom level for the PP. I think people don't know how to set up custom levels, so I'll show you one more time. A gold custom level magnet from scratch, okay? From scratch, and then we'll get ready for the open. I'm getting rid of my NQ. I'm getting rid of everything. I'll show you how to set up a custom level magnet one more time. So let's say the PP is our custom level. So look at the price. It's right there, 43.0180. That's your custom level. You're going to put that number in. That's your custom level. Strategy, magnet trade, custom level. $43.0180. Okay? This is not complicated. 0.8. Remember, the magnet is your exit. So our custom level is our entry. It's our entry line. Okay? Don't get confused. The magnet, by definition, is where we exit. But our custom level is our entry. The reason we're doing it this way, it's much easier to just type in the price that's always going to be there, the actual magnet itself, than looking for 20 ticks profit on a chart that's not showing the price because the chart's not spread apart properly, blah, blah, blah. You follow me? That's the only reason I'm using the magnet as the custom level. It makes it easy. Just type in the magnet, 43.0180. It's easy. One position. We'll worry about the target in a couple of minutes. Let's put it the 30 target, all right? 30 ticks. And then choose your stop. With gold, you got to use at least 40 ticks on these magnet trades. You got it. Let's get set up. Your account, right now we're on SIM, and it's a GC magnet trade. Label it. GC magnet. Apply it. Okay. When you turn on the magnet, when you enable it, what happens? Your order is the magnet. Your order entry is the exit because we just use that number to put our order on. But we can move our order. We put it wherever we want. So it doesn't matter that it's the exit. We want it to be the entry. So if we're short going to the PP, that's what we're doing. We have to move the order off of the PP X amount of ticks. 43.10 looks like a nice level to break. All right, we can't use this level here because if we did, there's no profit. It's already at the magnet. So we have a nice round number, 43.10. If we break that, we'll have a nice profit, all right, for a PP test of the magnet. How much should our target be? Go to the magnet entry button and hover over it. And our target, our exact target, Let me see if I can make this easy for everybody. How can I make this easy? The PP is 4301, right? 4301. Gold is 10 ticks a dollar. So 4302.80 is 10 ticks away. Sometimes the button doesn't show us everything I need to see. Okay. So we're exiting at 40. Let's say we're exiting at 4301, where that magnet is. That's our exit. So if our entry is 4310, right? That's 90 ticks. It's 90 ticks because it's $9 away. I think that's too far. I would put my entry somewhere in this area here. And unfortunately, we have to do a little bit of calculating because it's just we're not getting enough information out of our button at the moment because it's custom level. So we're about 4307 if you want to use your crosshair to really get a good target. We're 4307.20 on our entry. We are roughly 60 ticks away, 55 ticks away from the magnet. That's a little big. That's a little greedy. Let's do 4305.50. If we get to 4305.50, we've got a real sweet profit. It's close enough that it would have momentum. All right. That would be $3.20 away. So that's 32 ticks of profit. That's 32 ticks of profit. So let's check our target. Our target was 30. Let's go and make our target 25 ticks. We'll make 250 bucks if our magnet works. Apply it and okay it. All right. We're going to enter at 4305. And if it gets to the PP, we're going to exit a couple of ticks before it gets there. We'll make about 250 bucks. That's how you set up a custom level. All right. The only tricky part is calculating your target. Just remember that the level you type in is going to be your entry order that gets moved because the actual magnet level is your exit. Okay? So if you were going to do a VWAP up here, a VWAP magnet, you would type in 4348 as your custom level. 4348. Watch what happens when you enable it. There's your entry. But you don't want to enter at the exit. You're going to move your entry. So ideally you have approximately 20 ticks of target. 4348. So 4148 would be 20 ticks of target. 4345 is about 30 ticks of target. Okay? It's about 30. It's a little bit less. So make your target 22 ticks. All right? On your magnet, make your target 22 ticks. And you'll exit before you get there. And that's how you do a custom level magnet. Okay? Okay, I'm getting rid of gold. I'm going to reset my SIM by going to account, clicking on SIM 101, right click, edit account, reset, yes, okay. Now my SIM is back to 0. We made money this morning trading. I made money trading gold. And we made a couple of bucks trading Amex. I made about 50 bucks trading Amex. I think it was 45 bucks. All right. That's where we're at so far this morning. We have a market open. We like to trade the MNQ on the market open. We've been trading it all week. Right now the markets are pretty negative. I'm going to load my template. So I'm going to start by clicking News Trader Pro. All right. And I'm going to just go to template. I'm going to load my market open. We have one saved because we've been coming here every morning. MNQ. MNQ open. I date every template so I know which one it is. MNQ open 1016. That was yesterday. Right click it to change the name. Rename it. Make it today's date. 1017. Double click load. It will save the new name and load the template. Here's our setup. MNQ breakout. Activate 929.59. Bracket is 30. You decide how many contracts you want to trade. We have two positions. Position 1, the number of contracts you want to trade. Position 2, the number of contracts you want to trade. Okay? Target 1 is 30. We've been making our targets a little bit bigger. We made them a little bit bigger yesterday, and we had a good trade. 30 and 60 I'll use today. Target 1 is 30, target 2 is 60. If the target 1 is hit, I move my break even, my stop to break even minus 40. My stop starts out at 100 ticks on the MNQ. 100 ticks. It's a $50 stop. It's 50 cents a tick times the number of contracts you trade. That's not a very big stop. Not for a market open. It could be up to 250. And that's not going to break the bank. Okay. My market open account, prop account, is heading towards being up over 52. It's a $50,000 account. We're 2/3 of the way to getting funded. We're just slow and steady on this one. 929.59. It's probably too slow. Brackets 30. And the target 30 and 60, stop 100, BE minus 40 if it gets to my first target. And I do have an account that I'm trading it in. It's labeled MNQ open, apply it. Before we set it finally, I'll set the time, however, to 0 just to check the bracket size. I want to do that on Sim, so I can see my bracket width and where they're going to approximately be on the chart in 10 minutes. See, that's a little tight. I want it a little bit spread apart, okay? So I can manage it. The negative of being spread apart is you don't see all your pivots. I'd rather have it like that, but it's too tight. I can't manage it that way. So I have to give up seeing my levels until we get filled. Then you can shrink it. Now I'll put the time back to regular, 9:29.59. And now we'll put the account on that we're trading it in, number 15. Apply it. Okay. Put chart trader on account 15. Turn the trade on by enabling it. I'm also going to set up a reverse continuation, second strategy, news trader, change breakout to reverse continue. I'm putting a couple of contracts on position 1. And I'll do a target of 50 ticks with a stop of 75 ticks. 75 tick stop, okay? 50 tick target. That's a discretionary trade. Label it MNQ, reverse continue. Put it in the same account as the open. Apply it, okay it. A reverse continue, when you enable it, has an instant long and an instant short button. That's how it works. And it's a discretionary entry when you press the button. All right. Then we've got our YM. I have not been loving YM breakouts. I just don't love them. We do have a double magnet. That's what I'm trading. I think we're far enough away from a double PP high of day magnet for the YM Open. I think you have two possible very good setups. Probably the VWAP is better than the 6 p.m. and even the high of day is close. We may get there before the market opens. YM magnet. I don't like the breakouts. I much prefer a magnet if it presents itself. Proximity is 3. I'm just trading one position and I'll exit 3 ticks before it gets to the magnet. Nothing else needs to be changed except the stop size. I'll make it 50. I'm willing to risk 250 bucks. We could make it 40. 200 bucks. All right. I'll trade that in the YM Open account. I'll label it YM Magnet. Okay. Apply it. Okay it. Put the chart on 15. Turn on the magnet. So if our entry is here at 44, it's about a 25 tick trade. If it goes up and it enters us at 44, our buy is at 44, our target is 65, that's a 21 tick trade. Okay? I can go with that. I can go with that, right? I'll let that fill before the open. I would let that fill before the open. So I would make that an automatic trade. It's probably better. I would much rather it not fill until the open. I'd rather it pull back a little bit, chop around for 5 minutes, and not fill before the open. It's a lower probability of being a winning trade, in my opinion, if it fills before the open. You could just pass. In other words, turn off the button, auto, wait till we get to like 20 seconds from the open, and then turn it on if it hasn't filled. My feeling is the YM has recovered off of a pretty negative morning, right? After that comment about the Abraham Accords was made. That's what I think pushed the market this morning. I think that YM is going to go and test that high. If it fails, then I'll lose before the market opens. I think it's going to happen before the market opens. I'd rather it waited. You don't have to take the trade. You could just trade the MNQ. There's no law that says you have to do it. It's a better setup if it does what it's doing now and doesn't fill until the market open. And it has the momentum of the market open behind it, right? That's why I like it better at the open. On a separate chart, you could set up a magnet to the 6 p.m. open right here. That's a good magnet too. And then, of course, you have a VWAP magnet. That might be a little bit later. Nobody has said a word Are you able to hear me? Okay. Is it clear? Am I being clear on how to do this? Are the ideas clear? Right. You know, what makes you want to get into a magnet? Why do you decide to do it? The perfect magnet. Yeah, I'll post this online, TJ. Remind me when we're done. I'll post it online. Um, what was I saying? You want to take the best magnets are when you have everything in your favor. The squeeze is trending in the direction of the magnet. The market net change display is in the direction of the magnet. Price action is in the direction. You have the trend. That's the best magnet. But lots of time magnets just work because those orders are pulling price. And they often work in opposite direction also. It's why magnets are so interesting. But the ones that work the best are when trend is in your favor. I was going to say when trend is your friend, but I wanted to hang myself. Just thinking that comment made me want to hang myself. So that's the perfect magnets are when trend is working in all the same directions. But magnets work nicely at opens because opens create market volatility in multiple directions. That's why magnets work nicely on opens. Volatility in multiple directions. I like that. Now, if we're getting volatility, a lot of pre-open volatility this morning. I'm not seeing anything having been said in the last 30 seconds or minute or two. I don't understand F1. Why does anyone care about NASCAR? A bunch of cars riding around in a circle. Oh my God, that leaves me totally flat. I can't think of anything more boring and dull and horrific than NASCAR. If someone wants to punish me, they're going to do a clockwork orange and tie me to a chair, strap me to a chair and make me watch NASCAR or any race where things are going around in a circle and guys are walking advertisements. I mean, the whole thing makes me want to vomit. Obviously, I'm missing something. Why do people watch it? Because they want to see a wreck? Is that it? They just want to see a crash? Is there any other reason why anyone would watch that? You can't, it's not interesting. How could it possibly be interesting? It's not. It's just not interesting. Somebody, please explain to me the attraction of it. We're going to get a market open on the MNQ. Our brackets will show up a couple of seconds before 9:30, and then our YM. It's either going to trigger the magnet, trigger, trigger the magner, trigger the magnet. I think I'm so funny. Here comes our MNQ. So it burst and filled us short. We're going to have our first stop out on the NQ in, it's been weeks. It's been weeks. Not really. I don't think did we have one stop last week? That's the first stop we've had on the NQ. I just had a feeling I didn't want to get filled in that direction. Now the YM, I don't know what's going to happen here. The market's open. We're not getting the big burst test to the high that we want. That was the first crappy open on the MNQ. Is it going to test? Is it going to test the VWAP? It might. I think that was a tough open because I think direction is really unknown at the moment. I just think market direction is not, it's confused. I think it's confused. I mean, I'm not sure what direction I want to scalp the NQ to try and make this money back on the MNQ. I'm really not sure. I wonder what silver did this morning, if it had a better, safer open. It was a crappy open, yeah. Now, maybe the test of the high with the YM will help either destroy the account today or it'll hit the magnet. I'm not going to scalp the NQ. I just don't feel like I have a handle on the direction. I'm not going to scalp it. Sorry to hear that, Nitin. What got you? What got you the worst? NQ? NQ? There were warning signs. The behavior of the NQ, the MNQ, before the open was a, don't you think that was a warning sign? I do. It was really, really volatile, choppy. I'm going to let the YM fill. It's a real possibility it'll test that high if it fills. It may not fill. It missed by one tick. Maybe we got lucky that it missed. It looked like a risky open just by the behavior of the instrument. It just was very chop volatile. It was. I mean, look, it was the first bad open on the MNQ, NQ, maybe all week. All week. Is that true? But look how good a day we would have had if we would have traded the gold open this morning. You might not have even traded the market open because the gold open was so good. Every trade can't be a frickin' winner. I mean, it always just hurts so much when you have a loser, especially if it's a really bad loser and it wipes out a bunch of winners. If it's just a regular average loser, it doesn't bother you as much. It's when it's a bad one that it becomes frustrating. I'm gonna let the YM fill. It may not work. We may just not get the burst. It's barely worth it. I think it should test the high. If it doesn't, it's going to be pretty disappointing. It only needs a couple of ticks, 5 ticks from here. There we go. So we got back 105, half of our NQ loss. Got back half our NQ loss. It was a perfect magnet. It just wasn't a big enough entry, right? Maybe, and let's see if it goes through. How far through does it go? Should we have used a second position to go through? That's the question. That is the question. I did never set up a YM reverse continue. I forgot. But look, it went through for a second position. So if you were willing to take the risk, the YM magnet open was good. I think much safer if you get a warning that the market's dangerous. I don't know that we had enough time to tell how difficult the MNQ and NQ would be. We could look at the video in a minute. Now I would think that I think there will be a little bit of a sell-off off this high. It's very difficult to take a short when the market's up 100 and its squeeze is very positive. I'm not doing it. VWAP is pointing up. If you had EMAs, they would be probably pointing up, right? I don't think it's necessarily a perfect short here. It does show the strength of being patient for a magnet. The magnets are great. They really are great. They're great on the open. Absolutely great on the open. And I mean, think about it. You know the YM's going to pull back at some point, and you're going to get this 46 126 magnet. You're going to get the 46 126 magnet. It's probably going to work to that also, right? The MNQ looks like now it's going to go test the high, right? Do you want to do that? Do you believe it enough? Do you believe it enough? Where are you going to put your stop? So we just got back another 50 bucks on that scalp. I'm almost back to even. I'm down 45. Plus, don't forget your fees. The fees are going to eat up some money. But scalping, you probably want to stay in longer for that scalp. It's probably going to get to the high. What do you think? Where are you going to put your stop? That's the tricky part. Your stop's got to be below these candles, I think, right? For the test of the high. Now they're saying there's some China trade progress. Leonard, I'm curious. I assume that was prop. That was trading prop, right? So when your market freezes, did you immediately boot your R trader and try to get out of your trade? Because that's what you have to do. If you get a frozen market, you don't want to, right? You don't want to just watch. You got to immediately load your R trader and save your trade. There's probably no reason to lose that much. You might not have been able to save all of it, but you might have been able to save some of it. So let's go over what you should do if your prop account charts freeze. First off, if your cash charts freeze, close and reboot your Ninja Trader immediately and be ready to call the broker. Why? Because you're dealing with cash. You're not dealing with fake prop money. You're dealing with cash, real money. It's going to really impact your life. Here's the phone number to call if you can't get out of a cash trade and rebooting your platform doesn't give you back control so you could see your orders and see where you are. You call the trade desk, 312-423-2234. You let them know you're Ninja Trader and you're stuck in an order, and they will help you. All right? That's number one. If you get in a prop account trade and it freezes, first of all, if you're trading prop and your trading market opens and closes, you probably should know how to have your R trader loaded and ready to go in case the markets freeze. Hey Roz, did you send me that email on how to? You did, right? You sent me the email on how to. Okay, so there is a way that you could load R trader and your Ninja at the same time. But let's say you're not quite that snazzy. The second your charts freeze in a prop account, you should boot up your R trader and look for your orders and close out your orders or trade manage the orders. Now, I'm not an R trader user, so I would have to just look for the orders, see if I'm profitable or in a loss, and just close them. In most cases, I would just close them. Um, yeah, resend it, Roz, if you would, sometime during the day. And I'll make sure that I email it to everybody so everybody knows how to do it. You should know. So if the charts freeze, you don't want to just throw your hands up and wait till you get control back. You should immediately boot your R trader. You should probably have it running while you're prop trading an open or a close, because that's the most common times we get frozen markets. But that way, maybe you could have saved that, Leonard. Maybe it would have been a 450 loss. Maybe it wouldn't have been a loss at all if you would have got there fast enough. All right. So that's the most important thing to do if the market freezes on you. It's pretty frustrating, but if you want to trade the opens, it can happen. Why did it happen to Leonard and nobody else? That's what I don't understand. I just don't. Why does it happen to one person and not everyone? If the market froze, if the data froze, I suppose it's his specific machine, resources, everything, etc. When you say you always have rhythmic open, what do you mean? What does that mean? What do you mean by that? But what do you mean rhythmic? What do you mean rhythmic? I'm asking because I don't know. I Mariano, that's true, but most people don't do it. Most people do not do it. So, Leonard, I don't understand what you mean by having rhythmic open. I'm not picking on you. I don't understand. To me, that would mean your R trader is open. R trader is we're using rhythmic, right? So if your R trader's open, let me open mine, and I'm far from an R trader expert. Let me put on a micro trade somewhere. Hang on one second. Let me choose an account to get messed up in. Okay, so let's say on account number 20, on account number 20, MNQ 1225, account number 20. I'm going to sell an order short. Okay, I'm just going to sell one. I'm going to sell one. Let me just think if I want to go short. Okay, so I'm short. I'm going to load my R trader. Make believe my chart's frozen. Make believe my chart's frozen. My R trader will disconnect my, and I can get to the part of R trader that shows me my orders, right? Now I don't know jack about R trader, so Calvin, you're my expert here. How can I see my current order? Right here is the gray one. If I right click it, that gray order, I thought that that would be my current open order. It's not. Where are my current open orders? Where are my current open orders? If I go to positions in the R trader screen, go to positions, here's my open order. If I click the X, it'll close it, okay? I could see it's losing money, all right? My ninja's frozen, so I have to get rid of it here. So I can just X out of it. Right now it's going down. I want it to get a little more money. Let me see if it'll give me a little more money. I've lost $100 doing this, showing you guys how to do this. It's at 120, it's 113, 108. Let me see if it'll make a little money. So in other words, you don't have to panic, right? I'm not panicking. I'm in the trade, but I could see what it's doing, right? Now I'm down $90. Now I'm down 80, so I'm not going to close it yet. Calvin, I would just click the X to exit the order, right? I'm watching the P&L change. So if I just right click it, exit position, the X, exit the position. Now I'm down 70. I'm going to let it make my money back, folks, before I cancel it. All right. If it goes up to 80-ish, I'll get out. Now I'm 67. So you could see that's your open order. So if Leonard had gone to our trader, he could have X'd out of his orders. That's what you got to do if it's frozen. It should not be frozen in our trader. Okay. How did I get there? Positions. Positions. I'm down $50. By waiting, I got $100 back almost. Now it's going back up. 60. I guess I'm going to close it. It's chopping. It's consolidating. Now it's dropping under 50. Not closing it yet. No, Ray. So why is it changing then? Then I'm totally confused. Correct me. I see the open profit loss. Oh, yeah. I apologize. You're right. Why is it moving so slow though? Then why is it so slow? Oh, I see. Thank you. Open profit loss is where my money is. That's where my money is. Ray is right. Thanks, Ray. Thanks for clarifying. Open profit loss. So I want this net change to go down though, or do I? No, I guess not, because that's not, no, I want it to go up. So I probably want to get out of this because I'm not making money, I'm losing. All right. So I'm going to exit all working orders. By teaching you guys how to do this, I lost money in my prop account. I don't really care. Now at least you can protect yourself. All right. So you look at your profit, open profit. The X gets you out. All right. I am out of all orders. I am out of all orders. Okay. So I can exit my R trader now if I want to. And I can reconnect my Ninja. All right. I can reconnect my Ninja. That's what you got to do. If you're if you're stuck with frozen charts, right? Frozen charts. You got to get to R trader to solve the problem. Right. Sometimes you'll get lucky. The market will go in your favor. Sometimes it will go in your favor. I'm going to put my reversal continue in account number 20. Are we getting a test to the high? Oh, shirt. Did I not put it on 20? Wrong account. Wrong account. So I just made my money back in my open account. I accidentally traded a $50 trade in the open account. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. Amex was a tiny winner, like 50 bucks, Ray. I wasn't stuck in NT, Ray. I was just showing everyone how to get out of a live trade. The market wasn't frozen at the time. I was just showing everyone. You got to know how to get out of a trade. In R trader, you have to know. You have to know. So it tested the high. It's testing the high. The YM's gonna probably test the high if it's not already. It already did. All right, YM made new highs. All right. Does anyone have any questions? Ray, the most interesting thing about what we did was the gold open was phenomenal. We're going to probably start trading gold opens. The which is horrible for you because it's 5:20 in the morning. And the oil open was interesting, and we used like 1 minute ranges. I'm not saying that's the best way to do it. We don't know really yet what to do, but they look interesting. So everybody should at least know how to get out of a trade. What we don't understand, Ray, and I just, it's so confusing. How do you boot R Trader if you don't have a multi-broker account? How do you boot R Trader while without disconnecting your Ninja if the market's not frozen? In other words, you want to keep your R Trader open. Are you able to tell me right now so it could be part of this recording and I can step through it so everyone knows how to do it, or is it too complicated? Okay, so I need my R Trader screen on login, right? So everyone can see it. So you turn off live data by turning market data off? Is that what you do? No, so Calvin, Ray has a different way. Ray has a different way. Let me see what Ray's is first. Calvin, then we'll do yours. Calvin, then we'll do yours. Then we'll do yours. Allow plugins. Okay, first thing we're going to do, allow plugins. Okay, allow plugins. All right, log in. All right, we're logged in. Okay, I'm logged in. In NinjaTrader, go to connections. Okay, NT connections. Got it. In order to configure, I have to disconnect all my connections, right? You need everything disconnected? Okay, go to configure, configure, Bullinox. Okay, we're with you. Click plugin mode, with you. Apply it. Got it. Yep. Calvin, I'm going to get to you next. Is that it, Ray? Okay, so close our trader. Close our trader and reboot it. Okay, let me close my R trader. Reboot it. Okay, let me reboot my R trader. Let's verify that we're still connected. Wait, my Bullinox was not connected. Does that matter? That should not matter. Oh, in the future, open R trader before you load your NinjaTrader. Is that what you're saying? Okay, that's important. So let's do things the right way. Now, for some reason, my Bullinox will not connect. Let's try it again. And I didn't do anything except allow plugins. So could one of those things now be preventing me, or should I reboot my Ninja? Let me reboot my Ninja. Let's try it. Let's try it. My R trader is not open. Should it be open? It should be open, I guess, right? All right, let me get rid of my Ninja one more time. We're going to do R trader first. Boot R trader first, then Ninja. So my R trader is logged in now. Okay, R trader is logged in. Okay, my Ninja is now loaded. Bullinox is now connected, and my R trader is connected. All right. Ray, thank you so much. Thank you very, very much. Now, Calvin, how do you do it a different way? How do you do it? Now, if you're running on a different computer, because yes, sometimes the whole computer will freeze. Oh, fix our traders Windows? Tell me what to do. I'll do it. Fix our traders Windows. I do not know what you mean. What's wrong with our traders Windows? The fact that you can't see all the data? Trader dashboard. Oh, trader dashboard. Somewhere up here is trader dashboard. No. Where do you mean? Up here? It didn't do anything. That's really weird. I have like 8 windows open. I don't need all these open, do I? So I have a million. I'm not. Let me start over. So click trader dashboard. Trader dashboard. And then what do you want me to do? There's a way to snap it in, and I don't know how to do it. When you say at the top, you mean up in here? Oh, right click. Sorry. Attach window. Okay. 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 And then when you boot your R trader, this will come up. Is that that's what you're saying? So you don't have to do the trader dashboard. Do the same for positions. Uh, right click, attach the window. Now that one didn't work. Let me do it again. Positions, right click. Oh, it did. Okay. I understand. Okay. Okay. And that's all I need, right? And that way, when you exit our trader, save it, and save the current settings checked. That's what I don't understand about our trader, that you can't see your liquidation. Is there a way to shrink that middle so I can see the liquidation without making it so wide? Do you follow what I'm saying? There's a way to move these columns. I see. This is ridiculous. How could they do this? See, this is, I want that all the way over there. You know what I mean? I don't care about that. I don't care about that. That I care about, right? I don't care about that. So I would move that, 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 and at least now I don't have to, I can deal with that. Okay, I can deal with it this way. That's fine. That I can deal with. All right. So you can move the columns. Does everybody see what I did? All right. Anything else I should do that's absolutely vital, Ray, or that's good? Auto liquidate. Isn't it always on to auto or no? Okay. All right. I think I got all the important stuff off the end. Okay. I think we should be okay. Right. I got you. Okay, Calvin. I'm not using a trade copier yet, so I'll worry about it when I do it. So I think for now, we can see what we need to see. Okay? For now, we can see what we need to see. All right. Ray, thank you very much. Appreciate it. And then when you exit our trader, save current settings is checked. So when you bring it back, it'll bring it back that way. Okay. That's about as much R trader as I can even take. Right. If I'm trading prop, it should be open. That's the whole point of this exercise, folks. If you're trading prop, your R trader should be open, just so you could fix an emergency. Now, I didn't do anything that should make me have lost my connection, though, right? What you're saying is our trader now has to be open to trade it all. Is that what you're saying? To be connected? All right. So what if I don't want my R trader to be dependent? Turn off the plugin business? Don't allow plugins? Because I'm willing to blow my account. and load my R trader later. Oh, so you're saying that in configure, I can just uncheck it in Ninja Trader. I don't have to change it in R trader. So if I want to trade, yeah, you'll show me next week, you'll show me trade copiers, Calvin. So if I want to trade without needing our trader, I can do that. Reboot my Ninja, right? Okay, don't need to reboot Ninja. Okay, that's like a habit. If I make a big change, and then I should be able to connect. Okay, all right, great, great. Good to know. Really important stuff. Really important stuff. So, Calvin, uh, and there's another test, MNQ, these markets. I'm telling you, a nuclear bomb has to go off to stop these markets from going up. Um, the way you're doing it, Calvin, you're turning off the plug-in data on RTrader, right? And the live data. But then when you load your RTrader, the orders are still showing up. The orders still show up even if you don't have data, Calvin. It still lets you monitor the orders. That seems nonsensical, doesn't it? Doesn't that seem nonsensical? That seems crazy. You can close the orders, Calvin? You can close. So, Calvin, just to recap that, let me make a note. We'll have the Calvin method and the Ray method. So, Calvin, the only thing you do, correct me if I'm wrong, market data off. Market data off. And what about plugins? Off, Calvin? Well, this is the Ray method. Plugins are on. Plugins are on. Calvin, you're saying market data off, and that should allow me to log in. So that allowed me to log in, and I'm still connected to Bullinox. Okay? That's easier. That's easy. Now, it's nice to have both. It is nice to have both. All right. That's pretty easy. Yeah, I think this is easier. It's easier. So just turn off market data. That's it. Turn off market data. Yeah, it's much simpler. Okay, sounds good. And if for any reason there's a problem, turn on your market data so you can. But no, Calvin says it works, so I guess it works. Next time we freeze, that's what we'll do. We'll check it. All right. All right, folks. Any other questions? I'm going to get out of here. We've been here for 2 hours. We've been here for 2 hours. Yeah, it's a long post. Yes, Calvin. So the advantage of running Ninja through our trader is you can connect other platforms at the same time. So it's easier if you want to load your R trader and keep your Bullinox or prop data running on your R trader login screen. All you have to do is market data off. Market data off. That's all we have to do. That seems to be easier than all the other configuration we did. Okay, so for now we're going to go with that. All right, folks. Thank you, Ray. Thank you, Calvin. Everybody, I'll see everybody Monday. And everybody have a good weekend. All right. See everybody Monday. Okay, folks. See you all later.